Hello and welcome to Asteroid Citratus Journey to Elaxia. I have here with me today people who I don't have a name for you guys. You're explorers! Explorers on a journey. Please introduce yourselves.
Sure, I'm DnD Unoptimized. I am playing Russo Tricolin.
I am Dornish Princess. I am playing Myra Kaylani.
My name is Egg, and I'm playing second.
And I am Twig. I'm playing Evergrey, who is the leader of the Dorfensheen.
What? Well,
Wait, you're just pulling things out left and right. What do we got here?
hey,
Our party's called the Dorfensheen. It was decided 3 sessions ago. Guys, don't you remember?
No.
Dolphin
Yeah, I'm pretty
Sheen?
sure that checks out.
yep, nope, the chickpea has burrowed into his brain. We gotta do this fast before he disintegrates
Oh my god,
entirely.
are they parasitic? Is this what you're doing to us?
Today we find ourselves in the Falls of Foresight. Around us we see short green grass and the occasional white-barked tree with yellow and cyan-stained glass leaves. Anything within about 10 feet of you is invisible, including the ground and yourself and the thing you're riding and other people. It's odd because you can look at the ground and it's like a crater is following you where you go. Past that invisibility is a dense fog that makes it nearly impossible to see ahead of you. Our party is gathered at the end of a frozen lake and is preparing to head towards some glowing markers they set in the distance. Currently, you don't have Cadvin with you, but everybody else is accounted for.
Okay, what are we doing? What is the plan?
We have that.
walk across the lake.
Are we all tied in with this rope?
Yep. And
Should I tie in Sprout? I feel like
if
Yeah,
I
we
tie
don't
in
want to lose
Sprout.
Sprout.
well, but the thing is, he would just be kind of hanging off the ground. It
Isn't
might be better
he
if I
riding
just...
you?
Yeah, it might be better if I keep him on my shoulder. He
Yeah.
won't leave me. Yeah!
All right.
And you guys begin to head out onto the ice, I believe leaving behind all of your mounts.
Yep.
Yes.
just as like a general not wanting the ice to break a lot.
As you guys are going through, actually, since you're talking about the ice, go ahead and give me, I would say either a nature, maybe investigation, or you could argue some other check, just really quickly here.
Weren't they survival last time?
I'm asking for something else.
Alright.
This is investigation.
Investigation or nature.
That is a 10 on investigation.
So as you're kind of like pushing down on the glass with your feet, not the glass, sorry, the ice, you sort of get the feeling that it has a certain amount of solidness to where if you don't try to run across it, it's not really going to break.
I think I just heard a Freudian slip.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm not familiar with a Freudian slip. And then they slip on the ice and land on their butt. Never mind.
Are you alright?
Get up,
I helped
Freud.
them up.
I'm not really, I kind of wish we had the mounts. I'm not really the best. Like, riding something as long as I've gone without falling.
That's fair.
But maybe once we cross and determine it's safe enough, we can come back for our mounts.
I would hope so. Wouldn't want to
Yeah,
leave
we're-
the poor things behind.
Yeah, we'll lose most of the money we make if we leave them here too.
I mean, that's important
I mean-
and all, but
I mean,
I
it's
mean-
secondary, I agree.
they're living
Didn't we
things.
tie them up? They'll be fine.
But if we tied
They'll
them
be
up and
alright.
left them behind, they wouldn't be able to hunt.
We'll
not
be
gonna be
back for
long.
them.
How long you think this is gonna take?
Well, I don't know if you... Well, I know now that we're going back for them. I don't know all of you that well. As you guys are walking through,
I sworn we mentioned it.
second, you give me a perception check.
Alright.
Actually, how about all of you give me a perception check really quickly?
Also, question. I know nothing about danger sense, so I'm just telling you I know nothing about it, but I have it now.
Oh no, Nathan.
I believe that just gives you
0.
advantage on dexterity checks, right?
5.
Well, we are all
None of us
rocking
see
it.
anything.
Okay, hold on.
We're
I
all
haven't done
blind.
mine yet. Hold on.
It's the
dex
fog.
saves, I mean. It gives you advantage
What
on
was
dex
I? I'm
saves.
checking perception, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
First 0.
21.
Okay,
Oh my
you know
God.
what's happening.
There we go.
I told you we couldn't continue till I rolled.
I'm turning off streamer mode. It's making all of your names not appear. I couldn't tell who rolled. Let's see here.
Myra rolled a 21 for perception.
I got a 5.
Everyone else rolled terribly.
Yeah.
None of us see anything.
I told you
Myra,
guys, it's the danger sense.
You're looking at the light ahead. You're laser focused on that. You're used to being given an objective in training and following that until it's complete. And as you're staring at that light, it seems to widen and then split as a secondary light starts to drift away. And the other light is a bit more of a white light, but this light is more, I guess you could say, almost golden. And it reminds you, it's the same sort of fire that you would remember burning on choleric, which is that waxy substance that tends to form on the surface of your skin in splotches. And the light looks like it's getting dimmer and farther away.
Can I reach out to it?
You try to reach out to it, it seems like you're not close enough. You'd have to go farther. As you're beginning to reach out to it, another light splits off from the main one.
I'm the only one that sees this light.
At the moment, yeah.
Hey guys, does anyone else see that? There's another light. It's different. It's more like my type of light. Does anyone else see that?
Oh, I think Sprout stabbed my eyes out. I can't see nothing.
Yeah! You see
I kinda wanna
Sprout
go
is
over
on
there.
his head with his hands over his eyes.
Sprout, get off!
It's a menace.
Yeah, no.
It's getting dimmer.
Evergrey, as this commotion is happening with Sprout and Russo, you're a bit more calm. And you notice float by your head is a pink dandelion seed. And it floats off into the mist in the opposite direction.
Hmm. Do I know what that is?
Give me a history check.
16.
Yay!
You've always felt like you should have been able to remember the very beginning. Like, even at the concept of being a seed is one that you're familiar with, and you're certain you should remember having been it. It's almost like it's being kept from you. And as you see that pink dandelion seed, for a moment something clicks. Like a sensation against your bark. The feeling of it against you. Almost as if it's from back when you were a seed. Same dandelion seed. It's not you. You know the seed is different. You weren't a dandelion seed, obviously, but it still feels connected.
Can I go after it?
You're tied to the rest of the party with a rope. So as you try to go forward,
Who's tugging that rope back there?
give me an athletics check.
Is the dandelion seed in the same direction as where Myra is entranced?
No, it's in the opposite direction.
Oh no. 18.
18. We're all getting yanked on our butts.
Why am I rolling well on that one?
Yeah, so you pull forward and everybody falls down on the ice and you begin, you see your roots and your feet begin connecting into the ice, and you begin dragging everybody across the ice as you head towards it.
What are you doing? The light's the other way.
Evergrey, what's going on?
There is a dandelion seed. The beginning of a plant. I must record it.
Oh my.
Myra starts struggling against the rope. She wants to go the other way.
Give me, if you're just gonna pull and try to get to your feet, first give me an acrobatics check to try to get to your feet while you're on ice being dragged. I'll say you can apply danger sense and get advantage, even though that's not normally how danger sense works.
15.
Yeah, you're able to get to your feet. How do you try to struggle against? Do you start pulling in the other direction? Do you cut the rope? What do you do?
I start pulling in the other direction. I'm telling them they need to go the other way.
Give me an athletics check with advantage.
18.
Stalemate.
Wait, is that the same roll that Twig got?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
It is. It's the exact same roll.
Are on opposite. So you guys are on opposite sides of this rope. Myra is at the front, and Evergrey is at the back. And they have now created a tug of war at the ends of the rope that has pulled everybody to their feet through the tension of the rope. As you guys are pulling and pushing against each other, you see cracks begin to start forming in the ice. Basically, there's cracks that begin to form at the feet of Myra and Evergrey, but it's only little cracks. But they get bigger as they go towards the center of the party.
Guys, wait. If we're making decisions about which way to go, we need to be careful. We are still on ice.
Evergrey, what are you doing? We're going this way.
Do you not see? Do you not see the light that I called out?
There was a dandelion seed. I must record it.
Your recordings don't matter to me. That light, we have to follow it. We were
You
following the
recorded
light
it.
to begin.
About it.
You saw it.
What is
No,
going
there's
on?
more. There's more to it.
I'm gonna make a quick roll for the rope here to see the tension it's going under.
Oh no.
Well, Evergrey, if this is more important to you than saving the tree, then the archivist, then cut yourself loose and let us go.
It's a 9. The rope breaks in the middle of the party, and both of you begin, and the party gets split. Half of you guys go in one direction, half of you guys go in the other, getting pulled away. Let's go ahead and decide who is going with each group here. I want all of you to roll a d2 for me. If you get a 1, you're going with Myra. If you get a 2, you're going with Evergrey.
2.
I'm with Myra. That makes sense.
Yeah, it checks out story-wise.
Yep.
So Last Totem's going to go with Evergrey. Elanir is going to go with Myra.
So we got team plants and rocks versus team person.
That's a little messed up. Okay.
We're all people.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
team meat versus team not meat.
But what about Gary?
We forgot about Gary.
Oh, I forgot he existed. Actually, just to split the party a bit more evenly, I'm gonna move Gary over to the other group just so it's 4 and 4.
Alright.
Okay, cool. We're all not meat.
Not meat. Yeah,
Team
just
no
no
meat.
Gary. Meat, non-meat only.
And first, let's go ahead and start with Myra's group.
One question though. Neither of us are heading in the direction of the original light, right?
No.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Okay.
Hey, what do you mean?
Why would
Weren't
we
we
stick
crossing
to a
the river
plan
towards
for more
light?
than 30 seconds?
By the way, for this scene, I'm giving everybody an extra point of vitality.
Okay. I'm afraid of what that means.
That's a good thing. That is objectively a good thing.
Yeah, but it just makes me think bad things are gonna happen.
Means we've been giving it a present. And I'm not going to question it.
Okay. So, Myra's party, she's starting to be disillusioned for a second. She's thinking that maybe, that was a bad decision. We just split up the party. But she still really, really wants to follow the light that's dimming. So, Russo, what do you think? She's having a moment. She's looking to you for an opinion.
Well, wait. Is the ice broken?
The ice didn't break. You guys didn't stay there.
Okay, so we just broke and slid apart.
Yeah, the rope snapped.
So then I think I'd probably just call out and say, hey, are we not going this way?
Go ahead and give me a performance check. You're not really persuading.
5.
I'm assuming your passive insight is higher than that.
Didn't we decide we were going this way? If you want to change directions, didn't we talk about it?
I don't know if there's time to talk about it. This place is trying to trick us. It's got so many things happening all at once. I don't even know where to follow.
I mean, just trying to split up as a group, it doesn't seem like it's a good option.
We can go after the things one by one. Like, go for the next thing. We don't have to do it all at once. That's how you get overwhelmed.
It's dimming.
She's going to look ahead and make a quick perception check.
What did you see out there, Myra?
7.
You see that Gary is in the back, just like sitting down on the ice, letting himself be dragged, just with his arms crossed.
Oh, delightful.
Are you sure you weren't imagining things? It's not a problem if you were.
I could have sworn. It was right there.
You can give me a perception check if you want. Meanwhile, Russo,
6.
you're looking at Myra, but the fog doesn't seem right. It's almost like there's a spot of chalk floating in the fog. A vague symbol, but you can't quite make it out. It's floating ever so gently.
Just ignore it. I think this fog's playing lots of tricks on us, and I think we should keep focused on our goal. There was some spot where there wasn't any fog up ahead, and we had that glowing stick over there. I think didn't you launch that over there, Myra? Isn't that our goal?
You're right. I don't even see the light anymore. Come on, let's go. We've got a mission here. We've got to figure this out. Like, this is why we're here. We knew this was going to be dangerous. We got to focus.
Yeah, I think
no more
so.
smoke in your eyes.
All right. A little bit nervous.
If you're so
Scary.
nervous, then why'd you come here? We got to continue.
Right. I'm sorry. Yes. She kind of looks like she has her eyes down now, and she's kind of like looking down at the rope and making sure she's holding on to that and not really looking ahead of her anymore. And you guys begin trying to find your way again. What do you want? What do you want? All of you in this group hear this.
You say something, Gary?
Dude, I barely say anything. Why are you assuming it's me? I'm too tired, man. You guys see the mist waft away for a moment. And there is a probably 7-foot tall stained glass wicker heart. Their body looks shattered and broken. There is cyan and yellow and pink, shattered stained glass all throughout its body. Its head is like that of a lion, and around it is a mane of molten glass, the only part of it that isn't shattered. What do you want?
Where do we see this? We all see it?
It's closest to you.
How close?
They are suspiciously close to you. Like you would have seen them in your peripheral vision, but the second you turned your head, they were suddenly there.
Oh, goodness. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Russo. We're looking for Elaxia. We're trying to, save the world with the stuff in there. You been here long?
Myra is looking at his health condition, and she's wondering if she has any sort of knowledge or anything with her plant knowledge to know what the state of his health is.
Yeah, give me a medicine check. And I will let you apply your herbalism kit.
19.
On a 19, you see they're actually sitting down. You just couldn't tell because the fog was covering them. And even though they're talking to you, they're not looking directly at you. They haven't gone to the effort of shifting their posture or the direction their head is looking, because you assume that if they did, it would be painful. As you're looking at them, you don't get the feeling like it's physical, which is a weird thing to say. Like, it's obviously a physical ailment, but you're not sure if it really is. You're not sure if it's because of something that happened to them or if it's something deeper than that. Elenir is looking down with her eyes at the ground. Guys, what's wrong with our reflections?
What do you mean?
You say, what do you mean? And you look down. You see that your reflection looks more like a mannequin. A blank, textureless, humanoid figure. But Russo, yours isn't quite like that. Yours currently has a feather behind their ear.
Does mine look like me but with a feather, or it's a mannequin with a feather?
Mannequin with a feather. And it reminds you of a story you remember from back when you were in the kennels. A story about a revolutionary. You remember that same green feather in that story, but it would have been in a cap, not behind their ear. As you all look back up, the wicker heart is gone. And we are going to transition over to the other group.
Team Not Meat.
Yay!
Not meat group.
A great name for the group.
Team Not Meat includes Lastatum, Sprout, Second, and Evergrey. You guys are currently racing through as Evergrey is just pulling you guys along. Just ahead is that pink dandelion seed. If it were to get too close, it would go invisible. If it gets too far, it'll get disappeared in the fog. It's a risky game that you're playing with it right now. Go ahead. What do you do?
I try and move, keeping it about 10 feet away. Following.
As you begin to slow down and follow it, it does seem to just drift in a continuous path, like it's trying to reach somewhere. It gets lower, lower, and it lands on the ground, just resting on the ice.
I wish to make a record.
As you go to make a record, at first it's denied. Like, you try to create the record, and your memory won't permit its existence. You try again, and it gets denied, and you try again, and it gets denied. Go ahead and give me... I'm gonna say either survival or history.
I add vitality to this roll, don't I?
All ability checks.
Yep. 10.
Oh, I forgot to do that.
7. That's +7. And I got 10.
Oh, no.
You enter the record. And then it enters again, and again, and again, and it duplicates and duplicates and duplicates and begins to corrupt. And minor illusions of the dandelion seed manifest outwards from you in just all around you, and suddenly all of you are surrounded by this cloud of pink dandelion seeds.
What?
And as you do, it kind of follow the dandelion seeds up. And you see a bell just hanging into the mist. But lower, beneath that bell on the ice, a crack begins to form directly where that dandelion seed had fell. And there's a note that rings out as the crack forms.
What's going on? I think we might need to move.
You guys having fun?
Yes, but I am concerned for our safety.
I think this is going to be on you. Evergrey's a bit sort of overwhelmed over here.
All right.
You hear, not super high pitched, kind of like a medium, like a not a deep pitch, but like an octave up above, like being the deepest pitch, kind of ring out for a moment. And in the distance, you hear that same sound ring out in response. And the cracks form into a shape. You're not quite sure what the shape is just by looking at it immediately.
Are you okay? This is something that, we can get you back to the shop and get you fixed.
What needs fixing?
I am assuming that you do not mean to be doing this, and he
Gestures out to the cloud of dandelion seeds around you. You look down, and every leaf on your head is individually creating this small projection. Like that projection you normally make has been shattered into a bunch of smaller pieces.
What's happening? I have not experienced this before. What is happening?
It is just
Why
amazing.
can I not make a record?
You cannot make a record. Well, it's not at the archiver's tree right now. You won't be able to put the record there. Do you mean we will be able to get you back to the prune and bloom, and they will fix you right back up. But what do you mean you can't make a record? Like,
The seed on the ground, I cannot record it. Why can I not record it? It is my duty to record beginnings. This is a beginning, I must record it, but I cannot.
this is not a beginning, it is an end. This was part of a dandelion, and now the dandelion is broken, and it's a broken piece of it. It doesn't matter. Look, maybe you're just concerning yourself.
Seeds kind of are neither. They're both of those things. That's what a seed is. It's part of a cycle.
It just brings it back to what it was before. It just allows you to recall what it could have been in the past. That is its only value. Showing us what it was. But it will never be more than that. Yeah!
Catches me off guard every single time. Trying to be serious here, brain.
I've seen many ends and beginnings, and people care about the ends. There is some value to it. I do not understand what, but there is some value to it. Second, what is the value of this end?
Well, most ends aren't permanent ends. The stuff things are made of keeps going. It is meaningful because it's a change in something that was. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but the world is full of stuff that changes. That's what the world does. Endings are those changes just as much as beginnings are, or any other smaller change in something's existence. And they're important, because they're what keeps the world going. If nothing changed, it'd be a pretty boring place to be.
Well, it would certainly make my job easier if it didn't change.
There would be nothing to record if there was no beginning. Nothing would ever be if it did not begin. Nothing is without eventually ending.
Not if we can fix that.
You see that Lastatum walks forward.
What is going on here?
And he reaches up and he touches the bell. Kind of rings.
I do not understand this.
And as he does, he gets pulled into the fog.
No, what? Okay. Where's Sprout?
I will make a roll for Sprout really quickly here.
We're all tied together. Do we get pulled too?
I did not consider this.
I totally forgot about that. Are we getting yoinked?
Huh. That is interesting.
Oh, no, we found a thing.
Don't tell me you just murdered half the party.
As they get pulled, let's go ahead and figure out order. What order are you guys tied in? We could just go with the order that I wrote on here, which would make Evergrey last.
We did say earlier that Evergrey was last, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as Last Totem gets pulled, we're quickly going to make I'm going to say a strength saving throw for Sprout.
Oh no, I feel like Sprout doesn't have a lot of strength.
Tiny.
If you want, you can add a d4 to this.
As a reaction, you can use resistance to reach out and add a d4 to their saving throw, if you want to. But it will use up your reaction, and you won't be able to do it on anybody else.
I mean, am I
Sprout.
going to use my reaction for anything else?
Your choice.
I don't have a ton of reactions on specific turns. I think the only other reaction that I have is recycled excitement. So I'm gonna do that. Isn't it like only if they fail the saving throw?
Yeah.
So you see Sprout disappears too. Because their saving throw was to hold on, not to not get pulled with them. And they succeeded.
Well, that's bad.
Next in line, second, go ahead and give me a strength saving throw.
Oh god. 12.
You succeed?
Nice.
So I'm gonna say the line stops there. You didn't get pulled, so the rope is going to break.
Wait, shouldn't we roll to see if the rope breaks? Because I feel like or is the pull that strong?
I'll let you make an athletics check. And if you succeed, they don't get pulled.
Or you can pull them back.
Yeah, you're much better than me.
Come on, second.
25!
On a 25, they get pulled a bit into the mist and you do skid forward. But you're able to keep your crystalline feet jabbed into the ice and prevent yourself from skidding any further. And you see Last Totem and Sprout slam into the front of this massive frog. This massive toad has a anglerfish antenna with a bell at the end of it.
Oh my god.
And it gives a belching ribbit that...
Oh my god, it's a big one!
I'm going to need you to roll initiative. Oh wait, we already pre-rolled initiative, I believe, so you guys don't actually have to roll, but you can still add it.
Oh, okay.
Big frog. I should have remembered that the bell was the frog thing. I thought they were neat.
You guys are all going to go before it?
It's slow!
As you guys are preparing for the situation, you hear from the mist, "What do you want?"
To help people at this point.
Which is immediately interrupted by the frog lunging.
Frog.
As it begins to hop around, you see that it has like a certain floatiness to it that's preventing it from cracking the ice beneath it. But it is hopping from place to place. First up is second in Evergrey.
Does the bellhop bring luggage to hotel rooms?
Not yet. If you guys want to try to domesticate some, be my guest.
Domestication is a 1,000-year-long process requiring intense selective breeding.
We have magic!
And on the subject of magic, I would like to start off by using Fairy Fire on it.
Okay.
That is a dexterity saving throw DC 13.
It passes.
Ah.
You see as you go to send out... What does the fairy fire look like, by the way?
So the Fairy Fire is... it's a bunch of pink light just flies out of my leaves towards the frog, dazzling all around it. They try and stick to the frog, make it sort of glow, but the frog jumps out of the way.
I think also partially why you missed is because right now you're having trouble with these dandelion seeds that you're projecting floating around you. So as you're trying to project that light out, a lot of it's getting used up by those other projections. So you don't quite have enough kick to it yet, and it's a bit slow. Kind of floats down like a balloon in front of you, Second. What are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna check and see, like, are Last Autumn and Sprout, like, okay? Do they need help immediately?
Give me a medicine check really quickly.
Alright. This vitality stuff is useful. 17.
So it looks like Last Autumn took some damage, but other than that, they seem to be fine.
Alright. Am I able to get up to the frog and hit it with my glaive?
Yeah, it's right in front of you.
Alright. I would like to use Topple and attack it. I want to try and knock this thing over somehow.
Give me your attack roll.
Alright. That is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Alright, and then now it has to make, like, a DC 12 check to not be knocked over.
Okay, what sort of check is that?
I do not remember.
I believe it's con.
Yes, it is a con save. I just didn't write that down.
It fails.
Alright, it is now prone.
So it tries to land in front of you, but you swing up your glaive and are able to cut it against the stomach, and it lands on its side and sort of deflates a bit like a balloon. How much damage did you deal?
I did not roll for that yet. I forgot. 12.
Okay. It is looking rough right now.
I'm going to, as my bonus action, minor illusion a wall behind it, try and box it in.
Minor illusion that wall, which I believe is 5 feet tall at the moment.
Yes, it is.
So it is now its turn. Who should I make a tongue attack against? I'm gonna go for Evergrey.
Okay, AC 16.
So it's going to hit, and as it hits you, it's going to pull you into its mouth and swallow you.
Ew.
You are going to take some damage here. So it's 6 piercing damage. And it's just going to use its movement to float up 15 feet into the air. As it seems to have like closed up its wound a little bit and is covering it with one leg, and it's inflating like a balloon again and just lifting into the air slowly. Last Totem is a bit shaken right now, so they're just going to use the dodge action, but as they're doing that, they are going to they're going to use their bonus action and throw Sprout at the frog.
It's an amazing mental image.
We see kind of like them gearing up like with a football almost, holding Sprout, and as they throw Sprout, we see wind pushing through Sprout. They're rocketing through the air going, yeah! And the Sprout is going to make an attack.
Bonus action to yeet your little guy.
Like, I get serious Magic the Gathering goblin vibes from Sprout.
I just think they're neat.
I believe they're going to miss. So Sprout gets thrown onto it. They start trying to claw at it because their leaves at the tips of their fingers act as claws, but they just can't grip on, and they begin to fall. But you see the almost rabbit ear-like leaves on their head begin to spin like a propeller, and they just drift safely back to the ground. And that is going to end that round, and we are going to transition back to the other group.
Ah!
That was so exciting. I don't remember where we left off.
The wicker heart just vanished.
I feel like I've got to show this picture in the video. Twig just sent me a Magic the Gathering card called Goblin Grenade, which is a goblin that appears to have been yeeted through the sky and has dynamite in their mouth.
Oh yeah, no, I'm using that too. It's just so spot on.
See, we go back to Myra, Elenir,
Meat group.
Russo, and Gary.
Meat group.
Myra, as you're walking back towards that main light, you're staring at that main light again, And once again, that second light begins to drift out of it. And there's this feeling of, do I stay the course? Do I take my own path?
Oh man, I'm so conflicted. Myra knows that her duty is to finish the job that she is here to do. She needs to protect the people that she is here with. And she knows that she's had nothing but trouble every time she tries to follow her own path. She is going to head straight for the javelin.
As you make that decision, the other light disappears. You continue to head back straight towards the javelin. As you guys are walking there, Elenir's not being very talkative. She kind of has her eyes down at the ice and then sees the creepy reflection and now is just staring at the rope and holding onto the rope with both hands. Russo, you feel an itch against your skin. Like something keeps rubbing up against it and you can't really see it repeatedly.
What part of my skin?
At first, it bumps into your elbow. And then for a little bit, it's gone. And the next, it bumps into your cheek, then your leg. And just keeps moving around. And you get this feeling like you just told somebody what to do. You just acted as a leader. And now you're getting weird distractions. And these distractions, other factors that are affecting you personally and not the group, it's a bothersome itch. Something that doesn't feel like it's going away.
I don't understand. So, like, I felt like I bumped into something with my elbow, or it's an itch. It's like a physical.
Like something small is bumping into your skin and making it itch for a moment, and then disappearing, and then bumping into somewhere else.
There's a bug about.
Just gonna tough it out. Just gonna like walk. As I walk, I'm gonna kind of be like flailing my arms a little bit and like legs to try to see if I can, shake something off or like if I hit something.
As you give me a sleight of hand check.
11. Oh, plus 2. Sorry, so 13.
As you're flailing your arms around, at one point you feel the palm of your hand itch and you close it. And you open it up slightly. And you remember how there was a certain type of chalk that you would sometimes use to draw on the wall before it got taken away in the kennels. And it itched. And as you're looking at what you've caught in your hand, you couldn't see it before because it was white like chalk. It's a two-dimensional drawing. And it's of a dandelion. Try to look at it from different angles and it's sort of billboarding. It's the two-dimensional image is just turning to always be facing directly at you.
So it's a 2D image in chalk that's floating.
Mm-hmm.
Of a dandelion.
Bump that and pocket it.
So you pocket it, a crack in the ice forms at your foot and shapes into a small shape. Looks sort of like a small frog, and as it does, a note rings out. This note sounds fairly low.
Uh-oh.
Not super low. It's a fairly low note. You can try to give me a check if you want. You can give me a perception check if you want to try to figure out what note it is.
I don't think I'm musically trained, so I don't know that I'd even care.
And as that note plays out, you hear, actually probably only about 15 feet or so away, the same note ring like from a bell.
Hey, what's going on back there?
I think I stepped on a frog, one of those bell frogs.
Oh, the cute ones? Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the ice. Maybe
That's
watch
weird.
out for them.
Elenir kind of gets down on the ice and looks at where you said you stepped. That's not a frog, that's just like, some cracks in the ice. I guess it's sort of shaped like a frog.
Oh,
Not really sure.
my eyes are playing tricks on me.
Hey, listen, Elenir, about earlier, I'm real sorry about that. I was a bit harsh, and I just want to apologize. Just, we got to be strong together or we're not going to make it here.
Well, it's okay. I've heard that a lot before. It's nothing new. Just, this is my way of dealing with it. I'm sorry if that's, upsetting, I'm actually, I'm quite enjoying this, actually. This is just how I look when I'm happy. And you see, she can't, she's, trying to smile, but can't.
Hey, Elanir.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. This is, it's not often I've gotten to, talk to people about stuff that's, not kind of, what I'm supposed to talk about. It's nice. I'm just a little surprised. I thought it would be a bit more different than what I'm used to, but it's more similar.
As you're talking, you see a little tiny bellhop frog hops by, and the bell rings.
Anyone see that?
You see, outlining the bell on its head is a two-dimensional outline of chalk, and the 2D drawing of a dandelion in your pocket shakes every time the bell rings.
I guess I'll pull it out and toss it down. Didn't realize this was yours. I'll leave it with you.
You stole from this cute little guy?
No, it was floating in the air. I saw, what was this?
Yeah, sure, Russo.
Hey, you know what? Finders keepers.
As you try to throw something at it, it begins hopping away into the fog, and it feels like, as you go to pick up the dandelion, it's tugging you towards it.
I'm definitely not keeping hold of that. I'm just gonna let it go.
What do you want?
I already told you. How about Elanir? Why don't you tell him why you're here?
No, I want to do, goodbye my mother. No,
And as she says that, you see that antlers are now on her reflection, except it's not the colors of stained glass that matches her antlers, it's the colors of stained glass that matches her mother's antlers.
And
I'm sure your mother will be real proud of you, Elanir.
Thank you.
And we see this person fade into the fog again. What are you guys doing?
Don't need to be a downer team, but where's the javelin? How far away are we at this point?
That's a good question.
Give me... I'm gonna say give me a perception check. Perception or survival.
Myra?
17.
You think that you're probably only about 30 feet away.
You see it up there, Myra?
Yeah, well, it looks like we're about 30 feet off. I mean, heck, I could breathe fire that far. Let's go.
Let's do it.
And we're going to, as you guys walk up and reach the javelin where it is, we are going to move back over to the other group. We have Second and Lastanum here on the ground, looking up as the bellhop is currently floating up into the air like a balloon, and currently has swallowed Evergrey. Unless I'm getting the people mixed up.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the start of initiative here. We see that the bell on the bellhop is ringing, and in the distance we hear, far off, another deep bell.
You didn't even bear
Big
one of
Daddy
these things,
Frog.
isn't there?
That does not sound good.
Oh, no.
I've watched How to Train Your Dragon. I know what big things mean. Right, so I'm inside a frog.
Yeah, it's Second and Evergrey's turn. You're inside a frog. You're looking around. You see a slick interior, and you're wondering, where are this thing's organs? Its entire body is blowing up like a balloon, and you're currently sitting in this sticky substance, and in front of you is something else that appears to be in its stomach. This orbs or something that appears to have some sort of dark blue carapace on it, and the orb unrolls, and you see a chickapede. Kind of like,
Yay!
it has a dark blue centipede bug-like carapace on its back. Its underside is orange, and it appears to have about 5 different centipede segments in it, where the middle segment is fat and plump like a chicken, whereas the back 2 segments are what consists of the tail, and then the front 2 segments are a neck and then a head, and the head doesn't have any eyes.
Gosh, this is terrifying.
The sound that I made for it does not go through on Discord. I am so disappointed.
I heard have a brah, and then it cut off.
Just makes some clicking sounds at you, and then rolls back into a ball and begins spinning around inside the stomach, have you ever seen a motorcycle spin around, try to drive up and down in a dome? It just in spirals. It rolls into
oh my god.
It rolls into a ball like an armadillo and just starts spiraling around inside of this thing's stomach, trying to break free.
Does it do a Sonic?
Yes.
That's incredible. Oh, I wish I was seeing this.
Well, I think that the chickapede has a good idea here. The best way of attacking while inside something is just attacking it. Spinning around seems like a good way to do that, so let's get out 2 daggers and spin.
Okay, we're gonna spin attack here. Okay, yeah, just give me an attack roll. I'm gonna say with an advantage.
Oh, advantage, okay.
You are in it.
21.
So, with that 21, you're going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Sure. 5 damage.
How do you kill it?
Okay, so me and this chickapede, we sort of spin around and we slash a clean circle straight through it. The frog splits in 2, each half flies out in the other way, and we both come out of our spin, crash down on the ground. Chickapede lands on my shoulder.
You see the chickapede actually moves out its so it doesn't have wings per se, but the carapace on the bulbous part of it, the back, is going to split, sort of like the elytra on a bug, and it's going to kind of drift down onto your shoulder. Give me, with advantage, a animal handling check.
12.
Be happy you beat a DC 10. You see it kind of looks around for a moment and just kind of nestles itself into your leaves and starts kind of wiping itself off on your leaves, trying to get the mucus from the gut fluids off of it, which doesn't quite work as well as it should because the leaves are made of glass.
Yes, they are sticky.
Second and last Totem see you both slam down. I am never going to cross you ever.
That was super awesome. And you made a friend! Doobie! It's making a little noise.
You see that Sprout is on Last Totem's shoulder, staring at Doobie, and Doobie's on Evergrey's shoulder, staring at Sprout. It's just this death stare between them, except Doobie doesn't have eyes, so it's just kind of almost like a headless chicken trying to stare at something, and it just looks away because it doesn't care.
Doobie's too good for those useless stuff.
Yeah, you land down directly above that spot where the cracks had formed, and you see the cracks have formed into a shape that's very much like a small frog, similar to the smaller bellhop frogs that you saw earlier when you entered the Falls of Foresight. And as you land, it cracks a bit more and cracks outwards from that design. And you're not sure what sort of shape that's forming into right now, and you hear it ring out again, the sound of the cracks ring out, and another bell in the distance. It's very much higher pitched than the one that you heard from the larger one ring in response.
I think we should move quickly.
Yeah, it seems reasonable to me. Not too fast, though. This ice is still pretty much
I have learned not to disagree with you ever. Lastana immediately starts following you. You guys begin heading in that direction. As you're heading through, second, you smell something. It's like
Is it me?
What?
I'm just
Did you
inside
say?
a frog stomach. I probably smell pretty bad.
Yeah, that's fair. At first, like, something like sort of smells like rancid chicken. But then, like, as you're trying to not smell that, pleasantly, the smell is disguised for a moment. As just for a moment you get a whiff of some other smell. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Alright. 16.
2016, it smells like the ashes of a dandelion seed. And you look down quickly enough after smelling it to see almost a rainbow of colored ash go by your face. You see that it consists of red, green, cyan, and purple, and just begins kind of wisping around in the air in little swirls, and then just like slowly is drifting away from you into the fog.
That's odd.
As that's happening, you hear from the fog, "What do you want?"
I suppose I want to know more.
As you say that, feel the urge to look down at the ice beneath you, and you see that there's this mannequin that looks almost humanoid, not really Neuralon, staring back up at you. But it has your gem eye, except it's all of the colors that you saw in that ash that went by you. It's all of those colors combined. It is the curiosity to see all of those things.
That's deeply freaky. Neat, I guess. This place is weird.
As you guys continue forward in the direction of that sound, you come up upon a waterfall. One of these archways made of stone that reaches out through the ground and then connects back with the ground further, and a floating river follows under this archway, and bits of water trickle down, creating a waterfall from it. And on the opposite side of that waterfall, you hear that little bell ringing.
Well, there's a bell behind there. Bells have proven problematic in the last little bit, though. What do you all think?
I am just around for the ride, you know.
Sprout looks at him annoyed.
Can we still see the light of the javelin?
It's getting farther away. You guys have been going very far off course from it. It's probably about, I'd say, 90 feet away or so. No, that's too short. More like 120 feet.
Bells seem to have monsters attached. I feel like we should return to our goal.
Yeah. Should make sure they haven't gotten themselves killed. That would be bad.
As you say that, you hear that bell ringing on the other side. And you look back at the water. Go ahead and make a saving throw for me.
What
kind?
save?
Give me a wisdom save.
16. 17, actually. I was looking at the wrong one.
22. Nat 20.
So you guys
Nice.
both succeed. So what's going to happen here is you aren't going to lose any time, but you are still going to see something. Evergrey. As you look into the waterfall, you find yourself on the inside of a tower. Bookshelves cover every inch of the walls. A spiral staircase hugs the wall all the way to the top of the tower. In front of you, you see an old Hispanic man with a wispy dark gray beard and a comb-over. He's wearing a dark orange dress shirt tucked into black dress pants, and a black blanket draped over his shoulders for warmth. He takes a book off the bookshelf and begins writing in it. Appears to be writing over a passage, scribbling furiously. Just a bit longer. I just need a bit more time. Just need to... The books, they're flawed. They're a problem. I need to make sure that their message is separate. Evergrey, you are completely aware in this vision. You are present in this place as if you were teleported there. And it's unclear even if it is a vision. You just find yourself in this place suddenly. Alone, without anybody else. Actually, no. I'm gonna amend that. That would be bad DMing on my part. Second, you are there as well. Just so, to maximize play here.
So we've got a guy who is writing over passages in books.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still there, or...?
He still appears to just be writing. He hasn't noticed you.
What are you doing, man?
I am fixing them. They need to be repaired.
What is wrong with them?
They all say the same thing. They all speak the same truth. How are we supposed to learn like that? And you see he glitches and says, how are we supposed to learn like that? And glitches again. How are we supposed to... And disappears, and the book falls to the ground. And you see further up the staircase, he appears and pulls out another book, about 30 feet away from you. And Last Totem becomes running up. Why didn't you catch him? I've been trying to get to him for like an hour.
We just got here.
No, you've been here with me. Last Totem looks different. Sprout is on his shoulder, and they're grown a bit larger. They have like a thicker torso to them. They have grown more leaves and have like, sort of like, they're all sprouting upwards directly, kind of giving this upwards hairdo to it that's like pointy.
He's got a Mohican.
What is that? I'm looking that up. What is a Mohican? Not quite. It's more like they're all pointing straight up.
Like my hair if I go to bed with my hair wet. None of you know what I look like.
We need to catch him. Because, he's going to keep changing all the books, and also he's going to keep changing. You can't just you shouldn't be talking to him.
Can I pick up the book that he just wrote in and see what's happened to it?
Yeah, you see that it appears to be a passage that talks about... Give me a history check.
11?
On an 11, you look at this language and you realize it's Elaxian. Can you read Elaxian?
I'm fairly certain no.
You can't read it. You're trying to look over it, and as you're looking, you see that each letter is almost looks like it was done for a printing press, individually over each letter that was in the passage previously, and the ink is running and slowly merging into the letters until they are overwritten, and all that is left is what was written on top. They are destroying history. We have to do something about that. We can't get... I gotta go. And Last Totem begins running up the staircase trying to catch up with this man who... You don't know why you know this, but there's a record in your mind that's incomplete that says Galdeveer Phillips.
I guess I'm just gonna tell Second the name, Galdeveer Phillips. Just so he knows it too. Or they.
See? Yeah.
Looking around, but looking at this book, realize that whatever was here before, you're never going to get a record of that. Whatever was written on this book could just be lost forever. All you know is its transitional state, how it was changing, and now how it ended up.
So I don't remember what was there before that.
You didn't see what was written on the page before he overwrote the text. So you saw the letters layered on top of each other, and then the original letters fade away and the new letters are left. And it looks as if done by a printing press. And as Last Totem is running up the staircase, you see appear next to you again is Galdeveer. Where is this book? They all say the same thing. It's How is anybody supposed to learn if they all teach the same thing? They have to disagree. Yes, the books have to disagree with each other. Otherwise, how else are people going to make their own minds? They must disagree. They must. And he begins glitching again. And you see that there are these two-dimensional gray polygons that are emanating from him as he's repeatedly saying this over and over again.
Guy's having a rough time.
You agree, don't you? This must be changed.
If you change it, how will people know the truth? How will people know what is real?
The truth is not one thing. Give me... What check would this be? I could just go with persuasion. Or, because you said truth, I could say investigation as well. Well, you can pick either.
I mean, investigation's +5. Persuasion is -1. 15.
I do not wish for my brain to be filled with lies. And as he's saying that, there's a drifting of the polygons away from him, and it seems like he's decaying. Rather than them oscillating into and out of him, they're just drifting away, and it looks like he's falling apart and decaying. But there's a peacefulness to it. I wish for people to know as many perspectives as possible, but I do not want to revise in the same way I believe these books have been revised. That does not solve the problem. And just as he is fading away and there's just a little bit left, you see Last Totem takes a pink and orange bead off of their necklace as they're running up behind him and shoves it into his chest, and all of the polygons get sucked into the marble and it turns gray. This is what I am we can't... You almost made him change. He could have disappeared because of you. We can't learn about them if they disappear. We need to keep them stagnant. We need to keep them in the same state. You can't speak to them. And as they're saying that, you get ripped out of this vision. And as always, I have turned what should have been one session into 3 sessions. Ah!
Hooray!
Next week will be the last session. It will be the last session. I will not do any more prep. I will not do any more prep.
I gave up my whole lore to get through it faster.
And that concludes this episode of Asteroid Citratus, Journey to Elaxia. See you guys.
I'm very excited.